Infoxchange Australia, it's a not-for-profit community organisation based in Melbourne.
And its mission is to create social equality and opportunity through access to technology.
Social Business found out more about Infoxchange from Executive Director Andrew Mahar.
Well, digital inclusion is about ensuring that everybody in our society is able to access the new technologies. It's absolutely vital. I think it's one of the most important issues that is facing our time or our communities at the present time. We've done some work in wiring up low-income communities, so in inner city Melbourne, in Fitzroy, for example, in the public housing estates, we've put a computer into every apartment and hardwired the buildings and trained all the residents in there. We were fortunate to have A.T. Kearney, who's a global consulting company, offer us some assistance in looking at developing the economic return on investment for this bit of work. The cost of wiring up those communities was around about $3 million. The work that A.T. Kearney did shows that providing internet and communication technology into low-income communities can have significant economic returns. And in fact, in the Fitzroy community, there's been just under a $6 million return in the 5 years that program has been going. Infoxchange started 23 years ago after I'd been working on the streets of inner Melbourne with homeless people. And one of the frustrations of that work was being able to quickly find a bed for the night for people who were homeless. The process was that you would meet someone in the parks or they'd come to your office and you would then spend a period of time ringing around trying to find a bed for the night for these people, as it was their prime need. And if you were successful, that would be great. You would send the people off to the bed. If not, you would put them in a cheap hotel for the night and then come back and start again. I was at a party talking to a fellow about this and expressing the frustrations of it, and he suggested the idea of setting up a computer system whereby those beds could get registered centrally, and then workers who were seeking the information would then be able to use the computer system to find out where there was a bed. So I thought that sounded like a pretty good idea, and I went around and I got a $2,000 social justice grant to have a look at a feasibility study into the idea of doing that. And then when we went and spoke with computer consultants about the idea that we had and asked how much it would cost to set it up, they were talking about the need for finding $300,000 or $400,000. And back in the late 80s, there was no one in their right mind who was going to put that sort of money to some harebrained idea around electronic communications, email, online databases. So rather than doing a feasibility study, we ended up using the $2,000 to get the thing rolling and worked with 5 night shelters in the inner city area of Melbourne. I ended up spending 8 months in the fellow I met at the party's garage in Springvale. He was a computer programmer, and we built a program that allowed us to be able to track where the beds were. And 23 years later, we're running a multi-million-dollar business employing over 80 people in Australia and 30 people in East Timor, delivering what we call technology for social justice. Our business model is around 80% of our income is self-generated. So we run an enterprise, for example, called Green PC that refurbishes and remanufactures corporate and government end-of-life computers. We employ formerly long-term unemployed people to do that, and we then sell those computers, albeit at a significantly reduced cost, to low-income and disadvantaged people. So we're running a normal business for all intentions and purposes. We need to ensure that we cover our costs and make a small surplus to make the thing work. Well, we work in the not-for-profit sector. We see ourselves as a not-for-profit social enterprise. Therefore, all of our pay rates and things like that are based around the community sector pay rates. So we don't pay large sums of money for people. That becomes a challenge for us to be able to attract good people into our business. We've been fortunate that over the years we have been able to attract good people, but that certainly is one of our challenges that we have.